We're moving on to entry 16 now. This is Monday, March 23rd, 1964. This is a one-page entry. What's important here?
The entry describes in some detail a meeting that Mr. Rankin and I had with Mr. Malley of the FBI. Mr. Malley, whose first name I don't recall, was the designated liaison from the Bureau to the Commission. He was the one who talked to me when he thought the investigative requests were unreasonable in length or in substance. He had been told to cooperate fully with the Commission, and he was in his demeanor and in his conversation with me. He was polite and responsive, intelligent, and he understood that we had a mission and that we were understandably asking the Bureau to perhaps do more than the Bureau wanted to do, but that we hoped that they would honor their commitment to assist the Commission. He came to report that the director had two major issues that needed to be explored with Rankin. The first was that Mr. Hoover was informed that the Commission staff who were taking depositions were doing so at the same time that the interviewers were being asked to sign statements after being interviewed by the FBI. And on that issue, I was able to respond that anyone that was being deposed had completed an interview with the FBI, that we were not overlapping or trying to interfere with that process. The second issue raised was substantively more interesting, in that Hoover had heard that we were reaching out for expertise on some scientific aspects of the investigation. In particular, he learned that we were soliciting experts in ballistics from state investigative agencies or other sources of such expertise. And he was offended by the suggestion that looking for experts outside of the FBI reflected a distrust or lack of respect for the expertise of the FBI in the particular area. And Mr. Rankin, in particular, responded by saying that surely the director could understand that it was important for the Commission on critical technical points to establish that it was not relying exclusively on the FBI. He suggested that ballistics was an area that was going to be featured in the final report, and that the Commission wanted a second opinion on the matter. Mr. Malley understood the point, I think, and said that he would report back to the director on both issues. He reported by all means, and nothing further was done, and we went forward with utilizing some experts from outside the Bureau to testify before the Commission.
It makes perfect sense, though, because the FBI in their initial reports, they were not exactly precise when it came to the ballistics. So it makes perfect sense that you would seek outside consultation on this.
Well, it made perfect sense to us, and that's why we proceeded down that line.
Was Hoover really that sensitive, you think?
That's a modest expression of his sensitivities.